This video is going to cover questions 6 through 10 on the exam or on the test review. Okay, so the first four are regular trig problems. The first thing you want to do is label your sides, your opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent. And then remember, that's going to tell you which trig function that you're using. In this case, we need an adjacent and an opposite, which automatically means I'm dealing with tangent. So the tangent of 24. Tangent is always my opposite, which in this case is x, over my adjacent, which happens to be 5. Number of x is on the bottom. All you have to do is that bottom number times, in this case, tangent of 24. And again, as long as you're in degree mode, you should have your answer. This one comes out to 2.23. Alright, moving on to question 7. Okay, so again, the first thing we want to do is we want to go through and start labeling our sides. There's my opposite, my hypotenuse, and my adjacent. So in this particular one, I know something about an adjacent and a hypotenuse, which means I'm dealing with cosine. So it's going to be the cosine of x. Cosine is always my adjacent over my hypotenuse. Again, anytime that your x is an angle measure, this is when you hit the blue key and then cosine in this case, so we get that inverse. And we just type in 3 over 9 and hit enter. In this case, I get 70.53. I think is what I had. Alright, moving on to question 8. Alright, so again, first thing we want to do is go through and label our sides. So there's my opposite, my hypotenuse, and my adjacent. So in this one, it looks like we're looking at an opposite and an adjacent. So that means we're dealing with tangent. So the tangent of x is equal to my opposite over adjacent. Again, we're looking for an angle, so we hit the blue key, and in this case tangent, so we get that inverse tangent of 8/5, and I end up getting 57.99 or 58. Either of those would have been fine for this question. And number 9. Sorry, my cat just jumped on there. Okay. Number 9. Okay, so in this one, again, my opposite, my hypotenuse, and my adjacent. And in this particular one, is my cat. Sorry. We know something about an adjacent and a hypotenuse. That means we're dealing with cosine. So the cosine of 27 is equal to my adjacent over my hypotenuse. And anytime that you have an x on the bottom, remember you want to do a division. So you do 4 divided by the cosine of 27. And in this one, when I plug that into, I get about 4.49. Okay. Alright, and number 10. This one is a word problem, and it gave us some information, just like you're going to have a picture on your test. Okay, so this one says you're sitting on the bleachers at a concert. The angle of depression from your horizontal side to the stage is 24 degrees. If your seat is 45 feet above the stage level, what is your actual distance d, which is labeled on your graph? Alright, remember in angle of depression and elevation, this angle right here is going to be the same as this angle right here. So if that top one is 24 degrees, this one's 24 degrees. And I'm going to pick a different color. Let's do a little purple right here. So here is my right triangle. Okay, and I have 24 degrees in there with the little degree symbol. There's my right angle. So if you need to make it look a little bit nicer, there's my right angle, it's 24 degrees. There's my D. And it said in the problem that the seat is 45 feet above the stage. So I have 45 right here. So again, the first thing we want to do is go through and label our sides. There's my opposite, there's my hypotenuse, and there's my adjacent. So that means I'm dealing with sine. So, I'm sorry. Circled the wrong one, I'm sorry. There we go. Okay, so I'm dealing with opposite and hypotenuse, which means I'm dealing with sine. And my dog's running around. Get all kinds of noises in this video. Sine of 24 is 45 over my d value. Again, anytime d's are your variables on the bottom, you can do a division. So in this case, it's going to be 45 divided by the sine of 24. And in this case, I get 110.64. Okay, so somewhere around there.